Hello, everybody. I'm Mac Paladin, and this is another installment of Moonhawk Studios Presents. With me in the studio, as always, is my good friend Adam. I almost said my name twice.
Your own best friend.
Guys, I think our MC might be cooked.
Oh boy.
I'm going to blame that on the Arizona desert.
Yeah, you might be right.
Maybe I don't
92
know. Yeah, it's not that hot
92 in
over
the
there.
dark. 92 in the dark. You got Kevin in the hizzy.
Yeah, I hear because thankfully I'm not at work tonight. Wasn't at work tonight, thank God.
Petty Fan is flailing about, also known as running tech.
Meow.
You're not a cat.
And we got Golix on the commentary.
I am around.
Well, at least you're not being square.
Can I be trapezoidal?
We have a great show for you tonight. An awesome returning guest. But before we get to that, let us get to the news. Adam, start us off, if you would, please.
The news. Well, got a blood test the other day. It was unpleasant.
Oh
and
boy.
and stabbier than normal.
Mm.
In that the needle lingered more than last time, at least what I remember.
Mm.
Outside of that, got to take my mother back to urgent care because she's going to need another script for antibiotics. She's about out of her current load, and it's not a revolving prescription. So that that's a task for tomorrow morning. And that's about the summation of my news. Kevin?
Well, as per usual, I really have nothing to say other than usual time at work of the week, and nothing really big happening around here. So,
All right.
yeah. So, Petty Fan, what's going on in your world?
Well, Saturday happened. I now have a kitty. His name is Soul, and he's a little gray tabby, and he is full of energy, piss, and vinegar. We haven't had any big fights with the older cats yet, but he's afraid of them.
I guess that'll help.
The cats at the foster he was at were a lot smaller than our cats. And I'm thinking he might be thinking our cats are dogs, and he is very afraid of dogs. Because the dog may have killed his mom. So there's definitely going to be some issues with that, at least until he gets bigger. Because we think he might be like 10 weeks old, and he's already huge. Like, stretched out, he's over a foot long. So he is going to be a very big cat. So yeah, a lot of my week has just been keeping him out of trouble. He's already been in a little bit of trouble because he decided to use my sister's closet as a litter box. So he has now been spending nights in the bathroom to make sure he goes potty in the actual kitty potty and not, my sister's stuff. So that's been an ongoing adventure, and will continue to be for hopefully at least the next 16 years. Well, at least having Kitty, not, needing to lock them up every night. Let's see. Yesterday morning, I woke up to an email from PetLink, the company that does the microchips for both my sister and my cat. My cat Noise and my sister's cat Athena, saying that we transferred ownership of their microchip to somebody. We did not do this. So I had to call and get that sorted out. Last I checked, they haven't fixed it yet. And it's not the worst problem because our cats are indoor only. But it's something kind of like a fire extinguisher. You want to make sure it works before something happens, then after. And my cat sent off to who knows where. So I'm gonna if they're not back in my account by the morning, I might give them a call and see what's going on. Because they're either gonna transfer the ownership back or they're gonna give me a refund and tell me who I can go to
Did
get.
you call them already once?
Yeah. So and they told me that it should be back in my account in 24 hours, and I have not seen it back in there yet, or at least gotten an email saying that noise was transferred back. So if they're not, I'm going to give them this evening, the rest of the evening, and if they're not back tomorrow morning, I'm going to give them a call and basically see what's going on. And they either be like, they'll be back shortly, or they're going to give me the money so I can, because I paid for their registration on the website. It was like $24. So they're either going to sort this out or refund me and tell me where I can go to get them registered with another service. Because it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, that's going to be something that needs to be sorted. And I guess that's it for me.
All right. Alex, what have you got?
Well, my parents are back, and apparently, having seen that they were back, the guy that they'd been in talks with for a while to get the floors redone, because we have some linoleum floors that are not in great shape, decided to start that tomorrow, so that's lovely. So I've had kind of a frustrating day today. I was late to work because there was a traffic thing, and then it started raining in the middle of the day, and I had to go out and in the rain and close my car window at work, and so I got wet from that, and then I realized why I had a little bit of a headache all day, and so yeah. And then I got the news of that on the way home with nowhere near enough notice, frankly. So yeah, that's kind of the stuff that's on my mind at the moment. Yeah, we have some stuff in the chat. Sorry, I just got distracted. So yeah, that is most of what's on my mind today. But other than that, Super Robot Wars Y came out today, so I'm hoping to start playing that soon. Although I haven't had time since I was doing some work when I got home, and then we have podcasts tonight. And while she was unpacking the car, my mom hurt her knee. She was stepping down from trying to get the roof extra cargo container thingy down, and she stepped down on her knee with it locked instead of bent. So I guess she went out to the urgent care, and they said she had like a chip off her patella or something. I don't know. And so she's doing that, but then also when she came home, instead of taking it easy like you're supposed to, she decided she had to um start working on getting all the stuff out of the way for the people to be able to redo the floors. So, and of course, because contractors are insane, they're going to be starting early in the morning. So I don't know how much sleep I'm going to get tonight if they start work at 7 a.m. Anyway, so yeah, that's I guess what I have going on.
Nice. Um, just stopped by my folks today, and they my my mom is having some difficulties, and if you've been following this saga, I'm not really at liberty to discuss what these current difficulties are, but if you've been following the saga, this is just yet another thing to be a pain in the ass. I was my dad's birthday is actually the 29th, and the day before his birthday, he has to go for a root canal, and he's now kind of puttering around on a walker because, of course, he almost had a heart failure episode a few weeks back and was in their physical therapy for that, and they were trying to figure out what medications that they needed to put him on to help regulate his heart and fluids and keep his feet from swelling up. So in addition to her own difficulties plus the uh, prospect of a major surgery they may or may not be able to do because of her age, she was being extraordinarily unpleasant. So, and of course I made a quote unquote surprise visit, which, by the way, I called my dad and said, "Hey, are you going to be there for a few hours? Because I'm just going to stop by and get my mail and drop something off," which was my dad's birthday gift a few days early. I did not say that part, and my mom greeted me at the door and was like, "Rah, here's your mail, bye." And so, like, there was a whole thing about apparently not liking me having a key to their house after 20 years. And so, there was some door slamming, and I had a quiet conversation with my dad, and she called me up while I was at Burger King and apologized for being mean. And I said, "It's okay. I know you're having these these asterisk difficulties right now. I just was kind of surprised because you really hadn't said much about it over the last 20 years." And she said, "Well, anyway." So that was fun, and that's why I'm a little more subdued than usual right now, is because I was dealing with unpleasantness. And then I get to go back on Sunday and potentially endure it all again. So, and one of my tires is vibrating,
Fine.
which is a problem because I drive for a living. I drive people, and they notice things like your hub bearing seems to be vibrating. There's an option on these various rideshare services for mechanical issue with vehicle. So that's been living rent free in my head for the last 48 hours. The plans for Final Fantasy XIV have evolved on my end a little bit. I put in my Temu shopping cart a little cube gaming machine from Ace Magic. It is a Ryzen 7 8000 series processor with 32 gigs of RAM.
Hope you got that in under the wire.
Oh?
Really, you missed that.
Oh yeah, the tariffs thing. It's local warehouse, so no tariffs. It's already here in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's under 500. It's under $500, unlike the Republic of Gamers Ally X,
Mm-hmm.
which is and technically. And here's another fun thing: a lot of these manufacturers are based in Taiwan. So the question is, does Trump consider Taiwan to be China?
Probably in his
Probably.
mind.
Probably.
because
China
the
does, and he
seats-
listens to them. So
Right,
I don't
right.
know. I mean, if he doesn't now, he might later. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Hasn't
even matter
been
much because so many countries are literally just not shipping things to the US because of the de minimis thing until that fucking thing gets sorted out.
right, because there's currently no regulation in these executive orders to tariff things that are coming through the mail. Because right now they're just blank packages, and hypothetically, if they didn't examine the items at the post office, which I don't know how they would, considering how much staffing has been diminished at the federal
Also,
level.
privacy
right?
laws.
Yeah, well, I mean, people have been there are Supreme Court cases from 2003 and 2008 regarding people getting lolicon manga through the mail and then being arrested for pornography. And that's a whole thing because the post office ratted them out, and that wasn't covered under privacy laws. So I can only imagine ordering a mini fridge from China would probably end up getting you flagged. But what do I know? What do I know? So I'm looking at that and still looking at the ROG Ally X, but hopefully if I can get the little cube, it's $250 cheaper,
Mm.
and so I can get it faster and be done with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't even. I'm sure there's other stuff, but yeah. All right. Well, anyway, on to the main event here. Returning to the program is our good friend Sabrina Pandora. Sabrina, welcome back to the program.
Hello there. It's good to be back.
The guys here did not remember that you were here in 2022 when we had our glorious return to form. I had to chastise them for that last week. I was
Look, we
like,
have
my
a lot
good
of
friend
guests.
Sabrina's back. They're like, are you gonna talk about next week's guest? And I said, of course I'm gonna talk about next week's guest because it's Sabrina, for God's sakes.
Everybody said, "Who's Sabrina?"
Right? So with that in mind, let's give everybody a recap. Tell everybody about what it is that you've been up to lately with comics and acting and literally anything else.
Well, I am not an actor, so we'll leave that one out. But I am a writer, and I'm the creator of Giant Girl Adventures, a webcomic that's been running since 2012. And here recently, we finished volume 6 of the series, which was Giants of the Earth. So in this particular volume, we take Giant Girl off to a fantasy world, and it's superheroes in D&D, as you will. Somebody said, "What can you get your elevator pitch down to?" I'm like, "Superheroes in D&D." Go on. So,
You just described half of the content on Dropout TV.
okay. Well, hey, maybe that means I've got a shot at a show. Anyway,
well,
we just.
No, I was just going to say, if Brennan Lee Mulligan ends up getting the president position at Dropout TV, send him an email.
Hey, duly noted. We just finished our Kickstarter. We ran a 21-day Kickstarter for the graphic novel. Did a bunch of add-ons. We did soft cover and hardcover, and we did an R-rated version of the book that had nudity, and for financial reasons, we ended up doing that one as a PDF only, but I am hoping in future printings that we'll be able to bring that one back as a potential printing. We also did all 5 of the previous volumes of Giant Girl Adventures. collecting. I initially wrote them as like comics issues, but they kept getting longer and having inconsistent lengths because I have no discipline. So I ended up, hey, recognize,
Story of my life, Sabrina.
right? So I ended up gathering them up in arcs and putting them into volumes that way. And they're, it's a much better packaging for them this way. And I don't know about you, but I'd much rather sit with a graphic novel than I would a floppy individual. If I can have one graphic novel, I'd rather have that than 12 individually bagged and boarded comics to read.
Damn Skippy.
So, with that in mind, we did do PDF versions of those that for this one, but I believe now that the Kickstarter is over, we're gonna put them up as print on demand through Amazon. So you'll be able to buy all of the Giant Girl Adventures books. And let's see, the the Kickstarter was a great success. The publisher considered lowballing with the whole "we only need $3,000," but we went with 7,500 as our goal, and we ended up coming just shy of 20 grand. So. I get to say just shy. She didn't quite make it over the 20 grand mark, but that's my girl for you. She's an underdog, she's a hard luck heroine, she's the gal who slides into home plate and then her fingers are still like an inch and a half away from home plate. So, that's the current volume, the Giants of the Earth volume, was written specifically so that you don't have to be familiar with the Giant Girl mythology at all. You can just read this one book and get all you need. If you're curious about the greater world that I allude to in through a lot of the story, there's stuff out there for it. There's the earlier volumes, but you don't, it's not a necessity. And I even cover her origin in this one.
All right.
Yeah,
See, now that's how you do an intro.
Thank you. Can you describe your work? I've been on a couple of podcasts at this point, and so I've gotten pretty good. You put in the quarter, you're going to get the whole song.
That's right. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Adam, I'm turning things over to you now. We're gonna figure this whole thing out.
I mean, that's a strange turn of phrase, given that what this is exactly what it is. 10 like Giant Girl Adventures isn't a euphemism or a metaphor. It's literally about a giant girl who has adventures.
She gets big and small. It's her thing. She also has control over mass and density, which the deeper you look, the more the more complex her powers look, and it comes out. Spoiler alert. It's been a web comic already, so I can't really spoil anything. It's already all out there, but basically she's operating as a walking, talking alter reality for much of the book because she's used that to empower herself and give her this laundry list of powers. But what she's doing with it, whereas she could be a just and benevolent god, instead she's a slacker superhero.
Like,
so
how deist of her.
The excuse that I use is that the one thing that she doesn't do is start making herself smarter. Because if you start tampering with your intelligence, you start becoming supra intelligent. And the more supra intelligent you become, the less value human life has to you. That's her rationale. I thought it was a pretty good one.
Hmm.
So she's working on her own with her own human level intelligence and creativity, and trying to think of contingencies in advance, so that she can set conditions. But really, she gave herself enough powers. She just wanders around. She has powers like universal translator. Whatever she speaks, she is always understood, and whatever some language somebody else speaks, she understands. Works on written language too, because that's a bullshitty way for a power to work, isn't it? I liked it then. Well, I wanted her powers, honestly, and I think this is the crowd to tell this to. I wanted her powers to read like somebody was given way too many points and just turned loose on a character sheet.
It's
that's
kind of like
funny
the
that you.
Echo from Final Fantasy XIV, where you can communicate with anything with sentience and a soul, basically.
Okay.
That's
I
just
was
what
going to
came to
say
my
was
head, but yeah.
what I was going to say is that of course yours predates this because you've been around for a little bit. But a new anime just came out about a guy who was isekai'd into an MMORPG
Mm.
and traded all of his looks and charisma for outrageous skill points. So he's an ugly brute, but he has godlike powers.
Oh, strength power.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, there's also one
Yeah.
about full-on defense build too, but
But the
they're all
idea is very similar. I figured that's how she also has to envision how she's gaming with the universe. So I liked the idea of her coming up with a character sheet and going, okay, so these are the powers that I have, and kind of writing them in and adjusting them as she goes along. Like she has to be in contact with something for her powers to work on it. Hypothetically, if she's standing on the planet and you're also standing on the planet, she is in contact with you. But I never really stretched that one that far. Instead, she kept it down to she had to lay hands on you or something like that. And so, this is a disad she built in to try to make the universe not quite so mad at her.
Mhm.
Save a few points. So I figured y'all would appreciate that particular mindset that I put behind it. I don't. That never made none of that ever actually made it into print. That's all just kind of behind the scenes author logic.
And how long has the Giant Girl Adventures been going on for now?
13 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. The Danger Team that she was a part of was Danger Team '07, and now they're coming up on their 20th anniversary. So I at some point I really need to stop putting dates on things, because as the actual march of time moves on, it kind of messes with you. I'm starting to understand why Marvel started rebooting every couple of years.
DC
when-
reboots.
like-
Marvel just has a sliding time scale in alternate universes.
Right.
You mean
and
like when you mean like when Dave Barrick included Barack Obama in Girl Power?
Yeah, because it dated. There's a great movie, believe it or not, called Zorro the Gay Blade.
Fixture of Comedy Central in the 90s.
It's a George Hamilton comedy, but it's a period piece. It's him doing a Zorro parody, but it's completely a period piece, and as a period piece, it becomes timeless. So something that I've started to realize through the course of the real passage of time here is making current references is a terrible idea because it is not going to be culturally relevant later, and it just dates the material. And I won't condemn Dave for throwing Barack Obama in there. I mean, geez, he's also been at this for halfway to forever, as I recall.
Yeah.
So coming up on 2,000
Also, that was way
pages.
more thematically appropriate than anything more recent.
I had a joke in it was issue 16, so it'd be volume 5, the Gods and Monsters book, I think, and it was while she's on Kaiju Island training with all of the giant monsters, so that she can learn how to better fight giant monsters. And one of them whacks the crap out of her, and she's hanging upside down, concussed with stars and planets flying around her head. And she goes, "Donald Trump is going to make America great again." And I meant it because it was so ridiculous to me that he was running for president. This was funny. When I was revising the volumes and getting them ready for print, that was the one page that I went back and went, nope,
Yeah,
nope,
time
nope,
to hit the
nope,
corrector's
nope,
tape,
nope,
boys.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, there's no way this guy can become president. Yeah.
Backpedal at Mach 3. Backpedal at Mach
Erase,
3.
Yep, backspace. Take the paper out, put it in the shredder. Good night.
Well, no, it was still a good page and still a good visual gag. So I just put another gag in there and kept moving.
There you go. Well, there you go. That's even better.
Yeah. Although what I have discovered is that you can be evocative of the periods of comics. Like you can pay homage to all of those different eras, less necessarily with dates and more like the feel of the comics at the time. Like 80s comics have a very distinct look. 90s comics had a very distinct look. The dawn of Image. In the aughts, all of a sudden everything became the Ultimates and Planetary. Well, Planetary started in the 90s, but still. Each of the different comics eras have their own feel. And for me, I think that's what you can try to evoke as the past as a comics writer. And instead of applying dates to it, you can try to apply the feel of those particular eras. Of course, I say that, and I've got Ed Smith working on Danger Team, and he's literally going back and detailing how most of the earlier teams met their dooms, because Danger Teams are put together usually to face a catastrophe and perish.
Mm.
You got to have a greater cosmology, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the book that he's working on right now, that Danger Team book, it's an investigative reporter who is following the trail of breadcrumbs that he knows that he's being led on, but investigating all the same as he's seeing all these danger teams that have incarnated through the ages. And eventually he ends up, it's all the architect of all of those was Admiral Action, who has his little private atoll out in the South Pacific, where he's been disaster prepping since 1944, when Giant Girl washed up and saved him on the beach on this island, and after she'd taken a big hit, she told him about the future, and she told him that he'd formed the danger teams and that he'd saved the world a few times. So he's been doing it ever since, and he's been leading the investigative reporter on the trail, so that because his right hand man is getting old, the guy's in his 70s, and while Admiral Action doesn't seem to be aging, he's still got a job to do, and he needs a new second. So he leads the reporter through all this so that he can say, "Okay, you've seen what I've done. That's my confessional." I've done, I led so many of these people to their doom, blah, blah, blah. Now that you're qualified to judge my work, will you come work for me? Which may or may not be a compelling story. I don't know. I guess I'll find out after Ed finally finishes drawing it, and I get to slap it together in a graphic novel backed up with Pixie Girl Adventures. Lexi the Pixie is a character that's introduced in the Giants of the Earth, the Volume 6 of Giant Girl Adventures. She's a character in the fantasy realm, obviously from the Pixie appellation. And in Pixie Girl Adventures, she goes to find a way to find where in the cosmos Giant Girl got off to, because they get separated at the end of the book. And so the follow-up book is Pixie Girl Adventures, and that's her chasing Ronnie down through the cosmos. Fan favorite.
All right. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll work on overcoming my crippling shyness about talking about my work.
Oh my God. Well, we never have to worry. We never have to worry about content from your end. it's where do we follow that up? What do we follow that up with?
Well, I mean,
at least I'm not doing that thing where I'm like, well, as Proust wrote, and
Oh no, you might find this audience receptive.
like,
Adam, you were going to say?
what I was going to ask is about the recent Kickstarter chapters. Now, was this was this arc originally in the webcomics, or is this something that is cooked up for this book?
Most of it appeared in the webcomic. There were, I think there were about 8 pages that we inserted additionally for this volume. And we changed the placement of a couple of pages in order to make page facing. When you have the book open, you have your facing page on the left and the right. We actually, despite it being a webcomic, we had really good luck with that, and we did end up moving 1 or 2 pages to shuffle things around and change the facing of some of those pages. So there is new material in the book, but for the most part, yeah, it can all be read on the website at giantgirladventures.com. Go to the archives. All of the archives are in good shape except for issue 17, which is volume 6, because the way that it happened was the original artist, Kuhn Leuchten, had been working on that particular issue to about page 35 when he said, "Look, I just don't want to do this anymore." And so we parted ways, and the project lay fallow for a couple of years until I came across Dee Fish. She and I wrote together for a bit. We built a good creative rapport, and she said, "Yeah, I'd like to draw Giant Girl." And I said, "Well, hell yeah, let's go." She picked it up at page 35 and ran with it, and by the time we got to the end of the book, we knew that we couldn't put her cover on the book and then start with Kuhn's artwork, or people were going to be mad. So, it's like it's a Neil Adams cover, and then you open it up and it's Jim Aparo inside. Ooh, crickets. Thought I'd get more out of that one. Okay. So,
Yeah.
With that said, we doubled back and started over at the beginning and we rewrote the intro to the story and really expanded on it, changed some of the pacing. The original 35 pages turned into 53 pages by the time we were done, I think, because of how we edited it all out, changed things around. I learned a lot about pacing working with Dee. and that changed a lot of my work. And again, even when we sent out our reader copies, one of the feedbacks that we got back was, look, you need an info dump in the beginning because we need some kind of introduction. You pick up in the middle of the action and nobody knows who the heck the character is. And I said, okay, all right, I can see that. And so we even start off with a Frank Miller style talking head on TV info dump, which we added after the fact, so it's not on the website. So the volume itself will be a unique read, but it's a really good read, and it comes in at about I think 172 pages or so. So you're getting bang for your buck, and her artwork is dense and beautiful. I mean, for a lot of the ads, we just blew up one panel of what she'd done and used it as an ad, and the ads are gorgeous. Because we also because it was a Kickstarter, we advertised every day. We put stuff out on social media every day to get in people's faces and go, hey, if you haven't heard, here's our Kickstarter. We still need your money.
Hey.
Well, persistence, because nobody
Yeah.
is going to cheerlead for you. And we would encourage our friends, please, boost the signal, tell your friends about it. And we really got a lot of response out of that.
Well, and as I've learned the hard way, asking nicely on social media doesn't get you anything. So veiled threats is the way of 2025.
We did actually have a couple of veiled threat ads. Let's see, where can I post? Can I post something in the No, I can't post it in the voice chat. Where can I post something?
General chat should.
Guest self-promotion.
That's right.
Webcomic
As
and
long as
novels.
you ask, that's the etiquette. You can put links as long as you ask. We don't have Nightbot on this channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, here you
It won't
go.
auto block links.
Yeah, Nightbot broke, and I haven't had a chance to fix it, so you're good.
Alrighty.
If you have anything you want me to show off, like actually in the video, I can accommodate.
Oh right, yeah. This is an audio visual podcast. I keep forgetting that.
I am actually punching up a bunch of our ads in your webcomic and novels channel.
Oh, there you go.
So when I'm talking about, let's see, what's a great example?
It's like the old National It's like the old National Lampoon ads where they're like, buy our magazine or we'll shoot this dog. That kind of.
kind of. Well, we tried a lot of
only superhero themed.
Different. Yeah, we tried a lot of different. Oh, here we go. There you go. There's one of the threats. And,
I'm just open these up so they show up on stream. Give me a moment.
Okay, no worries. Oh, when I said fan favorite, there you go. I'm gonna get me one of those R-rated editions.
All right.
There it is. The phone's working.
Oh, you have things operating now.
Well, it keeps refreshing because I'm out of premium data on my Boost account. So.
Boost. Well, there you go. There's a bunch of our ads that we put together, which really, again, most of these are just one panel from the book. So you really get to see the level of detail, the level of care, and the level of sophistication that she's putting into things. I mean, the very last one I posted, "Don't Make the Witch Angry," that's like a little panel at the bottom of one of the pages. But she put all the ghosts are flying around, the flames are coming out of the fireplace and coiling around her. You can see the bats flapping around. Her armored knights are moving in. It's there's a lot going on in this shot for a little panel down in the corner. So and I genuinely believe that if the book is going to be a success, me talking about it is nowhere near as effective as people seeing the art. Because the art is really what sells a comic. It could be
Right.
the best story in the world, but if it looks like it was drawn by a chimp with his toes, nobody really wants to read it. How many people read From Hell? That
Like,
Alan Moore
uh,
book about Jack the Ripper, remember that one? That looked like it was
the
drawn
one that
by
the one that they made a movie that he despised, which is kind of
yes, that
redundant to
one.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hates like almost every adaptation of everything he's ever done.
Can you blame him?
Well,
Except
I
for
mean,
like except for like that one episode of Justice League Unlimited where they did the Superman for the man who has
For the
everything
man
or
who has
whatever.
everything. Yeah, I did hear that he liked that one. But yeah, the key is great art will sell a good book.
please.
Uh,
heard yelling in the background there.
Don't worry about it.
anyway,
Anyway, so great artwork will sell a great good artwork, or sorry, great artwork will sell a good book, and I
Yes.
firmly believe that we have a good book, but we have great art.
Yes.
So
Always a favorite. All right, Adam, you here?
I am.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if I'm needed once again, so to speak. So
You're always needed. You're the lead interviewer.
sarcasm.
she never shuts up. You don't have to interview her.
Everything we could think of to ask, she's already covered. No.
Anyway, so what were the stretch goals beyond the initial $7,500 goal? Like, what are you going to use the almost 20,000 for?
Well, we have some fabulous prizes here in the studio. Let's see, we got the stretch goals were first there was at 10,000 there was a metal bookmark of the witch, which is quite sinister and nice, and I'm looking forward to owning one myself. I am one of those gals who uses bookmarks, so yeah. And then I think at 12.5 it was a die cut sticker set. The publishers liked a few of our pinups and turned them into a sticker set, which was fun. And then at 15K it was the Giant Girl Magnet, which is a nice little innocent kind of cheesecake of her in her underwear, kind of hiding behind her hat. And then at 17.5 was the hardcover dust jacket for all free for all the hardcover backers, because everybody who backed any physical goal got all the rest of the stuff, the bookmark and the stickers and the magnet. If you backed a physical copy, we'll be sending you that too. And then for all the hardcover backers, we made a Giant Girl Adventures fantasy superhero adventure We made it as a parody, not parody, but an homage of the old basic D&D cover that had the Larry Elmore warrior facing off with the red dragon.
Yeah, the red box one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we made the dust jacket look kind of like that, very deliberately, because point to the roots. And those were the stretch. Oh, and I think we also had like a ribbon in the book. The funny part is, as a reader, I hate ribbons in a book as a bookmark. I'd much rather just use a bookmark. And and every time a book comes with a dust jacket, the first thing I do is take the dust jacket off to read it and then put it back on when I'm going to put it back on the shelf. So I got 2 upgrades to the hardcover of my own book that I hate.
See, now I just ironically shove my phone inside my book. Because my phone is my e-reader, and then I shove it inside of anyway.
All right.
The subtitles
College radio,
said
dead air, dead air.
I have the crickets on the soundboard. Say the word.
Oh man, if ever there had been a moment,
Yeah.
you got to be ready with that. Jeez. Oh, the tension was so thick you could cut it like butter in the wintertime.
Hey.
Some podcasters are ready with the questions, like Jemias.
It's not a question of a lack of readiness. It's just making sure the conversation is at an actual lull.
Everybody was so ready to jump in there that we said nothing.
Anyway, like what I wanted to ask is, how spicy is the printed version of Giant Girl Adventures versus the webcomic? Because I know that's a pretty common tactic that a lot of webcomic makers do.
I'd say that the version that's going to print is as spicy as it was on the webcomic,
Or
and
spicier.
PG-13. Now, the rated R PDF that we sold, because again, to save money, you can make a print run of your rated R version, and you're going to get X number of orders for it, but it's still a whole other book that you've got to go to print for. You have to make minimum orders for, yada yada yada. So for the Kickstarter, in order to try to keep things streamlined, we just kept it to a PDF. As far as how spicy it gets, honestly, it's like at one point, Giant Girl is recalling that the witch summoned her at one point, and she showed up naked from her shower. And so on the webcomic, she's got her hands strategically placed to cover herself. And in the rated R PDF, she does not. So we show the goods. There's no real action beyond that. There's no sex, nothing's really going on. So really it's just as my creative partner and I like to put it, cartoon titties.
And for lack of better terminology, deviant fetish material.
I mean, we know that giantess fetishists exist. We are well aware of this. We know that they come in different sizes and shapes and brands. You're aware of this. So there are those who are fond of the mini giantess, where they're only like 9 to 12 feet tall. There are 2 different occasions in the book where she scoops somebody up, getting bigger than them as she does it, to mash them into a hug. We know, we get it, we know our audience. There are whenever Giant Girl herself, if you look at the ad that I posted there, one of them has her picking up a mountain. Whenever she's exerting herself, she becomes more muscular. Definition appears, suddenly, girl abs. So
Hey.
yeah, so she leans into the muscle giantess. The we introduce late in the story, we introduce Stratonimbus, the storm giantess. And Stratonimbus is a muscle giantess because she's not only a giantess, but as one would surmise, there you go, muscular.
It is a surprisingly nuanced conversation. Like, I guess another example would be from this Kickstarter. We got the giantess and the pixie girl here, which is, in loose terminology, pairing a giantess and a mini girl.
Precisely so, precisely so. And yeah, because the wasp-sized sidekick also follows patterns, which is probably why it rang. It really registered. Fans loved the character, so I'm like, well, don't fight it. Now, I will say, you asked about spicy. The Pixie Girl Adventures, on the other hand, if you read through it, it's issue 18 in the archives on the website. That's Lexi's quest to find Ronnie. It ends with the two of them in a hotel room, obviously having had a torrid night of passion. So it is much spicier than this book. And we're going to lean into that too, because we're probably going to go ahead and add a couple of pages of actual sex content to Pixie Girl Adventures as part of that project moving forward. But that's still out there. We still have another project or two that we have to get out of the way before we can get back to that. Because D can only draw so fast, and doing the level of detail that Giant Girl Adventures takes and Pixie Girl Adventures takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of dedication. So it really is very consuming for her. So I gotta bear that in mind as I'm going. Hey, come on, let's go 30 pages. And she's holding her hand like a claw, going, It's so tired.
That is unfortunate. I'm like, hopefully she isn't suffering from carpal tunnel or anything, is she?
No. That was more metaphorical than anything else. That was
Understandable.
That was for,
Yeah, understandable.
that
But
was for comedy.
so
Here you go. In your webcomic and novels, I went ahead and put up. That's the next to last page of Pixie Girl Adventures. So it's sexy, it's spicy. We got it going on, and yet it's tender.
I mean, is Pixie Girl aiming to be a regular fixture for the cast?
Yeah, she is actually going to be a regular addition to the cast.
And
go ahead.
Well, I'm not exactly sure where the webcomic is versus the printed edition. Like, is the webcomic even still in commission?
It is. It's as I mentioned earlier, Ed Smith is working on Danger Team, and so I've been posting the Danger Team as it goes along. I'm also training Ed how to make comics, because if you start at the beginning of Danger Team, you notice that his artwork changes radically over the course of time, because I'm literally teaching him how to do comics. And part of that problem is he has trouble making deadlines. So it'll go 2 or 3 weeks without a page, etc. And right now, I took advantage of the timing because the anthology that I'm trying to get done with D has another story in it that I wanted to make sure got into it, because it's a good tight little 5-page story, and I've got Ed working on that now. So the comic is on hiatus at the moment. It happens a lot. When you're doing web comics, Ryan Sumner can put it out every day. But that's because Lar D'Souza's a machine, man. He can just crank out those strips. He's amazing. But for the most part, I've always ended up having to take hiatuses, take breaks. You got to give the artist breathers. You got to give them time to catch their breath, work on other stuff, things like that. So at the moment, it is still going, and hopefully with some of the money that I'm making from this and future developments, I'll be able to hire some more artists to do some of the other stories that I have planned.
I mean, it certainly sounds like you got a lot in the pipeline.
Oh, sure. Oh, I've got the Admiral Action story indicates that Giant Girl time travels at one point to 1944. That is part of a much larger arc that, who knows if I'm even going to get that far. But as long as I'm still here and I can still keep getting artists to work on stuff, I can keep getting stories told. And to me, that's the joy of webcomics. Is it doesn't matter if someone thinks that your stories are good enough, if your art is good enough, if you're worth publishing. You get to publish. You get to put it out there for people to see. Now, promoting it, that can be very difficult, but you there's no gatekeeping. Anybody can put out comics. I couldn't get a job at DC or Marvel, but I can make comics and I can publish them. So, haha. And I think that's the great part about webcomics, is that anybody can choose to enter the realm of graphic storytelling. They may not do it well. I look at a lot of my early stuff and I cringe. I'm like, oh, that was not your best work. But I had to do that
I feel
work
like
in
that's
order
a
to
thing for like almost any artist,
exactly. You
unless
have
they
to
like
make
intentionally
bad art to do
avoid.
good art.
4 versions of Starship Moonhawk later.
You have to make bad art before you can make good art, and I may or may not apologize for some of my earlier work, but I'll still stand by it.
Okay. So outside of the hiatus thing, where is Giant Girl Adventures right now? That is to say, what was the last webcomic issue of that?
Well, the Danger Team story is a Giant Girl adventure. It's just one of those Giant Girl adventures that features Giant Girl, though she's not necessarily the central character. So,
Is the
and I
Justice
think,
League a Batman comic?
well, that's part of the reason why it's Giant Girl Adventures
Mm-hmm.
instead of
I
just
get it.
titling the book Giant Girl. Because, like, issue 14, the main character is Betty the car hop waitress, who happens to know Giant Girl. So I try to sometimes maintain an ancillary connection. And that's the book that's currently in process. 12 pages, 13 pages from being done. So close. Oh, gonna make it.
Still, the question does remain: what is Giant Girl doing with the team in this arc?
Oh, in the current book?
Yeah, in the current
Oh,
story.
she is blackmailed by a powerful witch into going to a fantasy realm, into accepting a geas to go to a fantasy realm and help the party until they no longer needed her help. And she said, you don't have to guide them to victory. You just have to help them until they don't need your help anymore. And she very efficiently blackmails her into doing it by threatening to summon the actual source of her powers we find out later she actually was kind of stabbed in the back and betrayed. So she goes to a fantasy realm and she literally kind of does against the giants. She gets together with the adventuring party and they they go go forth to seek the giants, and they fight the hillbilly giants, and they fight the rock giants, and then they fight the ice giants.
That's a lot of giants.
There's trolls too. Can't leave out the trolls. Oh, and along the way she wipes out the entire Goblin Empire.
No Ettins?
Uh I I don't think we did any Ettins, although we really
Ettins
should
as a
have.
thing is a little bit more debatable than some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
The word I
Well,
believe comes from the word Jotun, which
Well,
is just one of the Norse words for giants, and many of them were known for possibly having multiple heads. So in D&D, it became the word for two-headed giants.
and the hillbilly giants, it does seem, see, now in hindsight, it's a missed opportunity. Oh man, we could have had a two-headed hillbilly giant. Damn it. On the bright side, the fantasy world that we portray, Earth, spelled with a U, I have a ton of source material for. So if it does catch on, I can put out modules.
like role playing modules?
Yeah,
Oh, is there a Giant Girl Adventures role playing game?
there is not, but I did have an interested party bring it up. So see, for me, the key is I'll be happy to do the write ups of this is who the character is. Somebody going in and balancing all the stats. Ooh, that's not my job anymore. I retired from that level of rules management.
Also, comic book storytelling can be a little bit tricky to deal with when you're going with full quantified
Rule
stats and stuff,
systems.
because it
Yeah.
is an extremely prominent trope in comic books for a character to get their butt kicked by someone and then like get their head on straight and come back and win the fight, but without having any actual like concrete power up.
The Captain Kirk used to wipe the blood off his chin, and suddenly he had his second wind for the next round.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
are
like
RPGs that have mechanics that actually work better for that than like D&D, but yeah. It's one of
yeah,
those
I
things that works well in a narrative but is a little bit harder to do in uh some games.
Well, as
yeah.
we all know, spitting out a tooth is a full HP restore.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can only do it so many times, right?
Yeah.
So, what's the upload schedule for the current comic?
The upload schedule. I think since the Kickstarter just ended a couple of days ago, like a day yesterday. Gosh, yes, it was yesterday. Haha. Since it just ended yesterday, I think at this point the publishers are collecting uh all of the pledges, and getting all of that straightened out. I think it should be on target within a week or two. Honestly, that is a good question that I do not have a great answer to. I know that we're taking a meeting next week because I need to see how many physical portfolios need delivery, that sort of thing. I am one of the fun things that we offered was print portfolios, both digitally and physically. And for the physical ones, we've got some really nice print work done. So I'm excited that people will be excited enough about our characters to want to own dynamic prints of them.
That is indeed a rare treasure in terms of an audience. And I think I've run through my gamut of questions. We'll see if anyone else here has anything further.
I think I'm good.
I am satisfied. Thank you.
I'm just excited to be on the show.
It's your fucking show, Mac.
I'm just excited to be here.
I was doing Sam Rockwell from Galaxy Quest. And this
I
is
love that movie.
Guy.
Do I even have a last name? All right, well,
Man,
thank you so much for letting me monopolize your time and talk endlessly
absolutely.
about my project and my theories and my wackadoodle thoughts.
It is always a pleasure to have you, Sabrina, and I thank you for taking the time to come out and chat with us.
You bet. Check out giantgirladventures.com, and you can still late back the Kickstarter. That's a new feature. These days, after the Kickstarter is over, you can still come in, make a pledge, and they'll still process it for you.
Fun.
All right.
Neat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so our next segment, we're gonna be lampooning some great piece of cultural something from ITV from the 70s. So if you want to stick around and help us MST3K it, you are more than welcome.
Color me curious. What's going on?
All right. Well, there is a watch stream option in the Discord here, and we will be bringing it up. And of course, Adam, if you would like to recap it for both our listeners and our guest, that would be great.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure how much to recap. But okay, so
it's a town in Britain with a lot of stone circles and some kind of creepy cult that involves them.
yeah,
Children of the Stones.
Yeah,
and special effects straight out of Turnabout Intruder.
Like you want that? I'll bring up the Tomorrow People from the 1970s. Like,
I do have one question.
This is Kirk and Spock. This is Kirk and Spock touching the Oracle, and for the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky.
Yeah.
I have one question. Has anybody made the joke about Children of the Stones, 1977? How many kids did the Rolling Stones have by 1977?
Too many.
Yeah.
And would they be old enough to be starring in this film?
Oh, this is a mini-series from ITV.
Yeah. This is what they call a serial mini-series. Yeah. We're on episode 5, Charm Circle, where
damn, let's get this party started.
I'm excited.
It's good.
And if you don't mind, I have to do this real quick. Alec!
Kevin has very particular tastes.
Yes, I am a geek for idents and stuff like that from particularly ITV regional franchises like HTV here.
Helps if I actually put on the right audio channel. It's fine. We can hear now.
Yeah.
And once again, that is now a free font from Microsoft.
Hoorah!
I'm getting
Fox.
stoned just watching this.
Uh-huh.
It's not a great thing to admit because I'm sitting in a parking lot in my car.
Yeah. And once again, for kids, druidic wailing.
Yeah.
wailing.
You mean your kids
The
don't wail like
innuendos in this show
druids?
No.
The innuendos in this show are off the chain too. Not to mention a lot of
Jones,
tweed and
He's in
herringbone.
everything.
Veronica Strong, obviously related to. I got nothing.
Tom
Ah.
Strong.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Ian Cuthbert's son. Oh my gosh, you mean like Saint Cuthbert?
Sure, why not?
I think we might need to
on
pray
the
to
last
Saint
time
Cuthbert.
Somebody fucking dead. Or looking dead anyway.
After watching this show, we're going to need to pray to Saint Cuthbert.
My God, this man's been stoned to death.
Stoned.
I'm dressed up like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, no shit.
He's
Decorative
dead and the
pottery
amulet
shards.
too. Mm-hmm.
Save that for later. I might want to taste it.
Tastes like freedom.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Charmed
Mhm.
Circle. Man, I think I went to a concert with them. He runs like he's never actually run before.
You can answer the door. This is kind of urgent.
It's that naturalistic British acting.
Come on, man, it's urgent. Where's your phone?
Like, sorry, I was on the other side of the castle.
When he
Right over
turns
there.
around.
Turn around and look behind you, you duh. Bloke.
If anything, if this show needs anything, it's more tweed and herringbone.
The textures of our lives.
Unfortunately, they're the textures of the 70s, so lots of earth tones.
That tie was a choice.
Well, it would have been long.
Yeah.
It would have been longer, but the budget ran out.
Yeah, we have to make fun of the fashions an inordinate amount of times per episode.
It's the 70s, man.
Seriously, it's like seriously, man. If you just
It's like,
Let's go and take a look.
dude, look at his face. Look at his mannerisms. Suspicious.
That is not a human. You should run faster.
I'll murder you and eat your kidneys.
Talking about the majesty, huh?
The
I'm just
kidneys
saying,
taste
if you've
like
got
iron.
look, I'm just saying, if you've got a gut like that, you should tie your tie differently to de-emphasize.
Is this a not so fresh feeling conversation?
Yes.
Dun,
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 dun, dun.
dun.
I think that's what
have
they're
you done,
trying to do.
Nathan?
Ties blowing in the wind and synchronous.
And that wispy hair on his head is really working the scene.
Yeah, goodness, yeah.
Doing more work in the scene than he is.
I don't think so. I mean, he's
The truth
acting the part
hurts.
of evil guy.
I just don't understand.
Well, he could practically be coming down off of Air Force One with that hair.
Yeah, I think that hair is generating its own lift. I think he actually just lost 8 pounds with that.
Yeah.
I broke Penny Fan with that joke.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. Help.
Like you really
Here's
choked on your response when I said that.
Here's where I keep your old projects that I don't like.
Here's where I keep your
These are-
family. Wait.
These are the ones unworthy of the refrigerator.
The stone we saw on the way back.
Or the British National Museum.
It isn't in the
But it is marked on the chart.
You know,
These
the
paint us
local
in an
humidity is
unfavorable
doing that
light.
girls a lot of help.
Isn't on the picture. And
These
when
paint us in an unfavorable light, so we'll be removing them from the
It's not a
Smithsonian.
chopping out of the picture. So what are we doing here?
in a different place.
Oh.
I guess this place is guaranteed to make you lose your mind. I guess.
How many people?
Good thing
I'm
I never
trying
had
to
one.
These
figure out
paintings,
Count.
hairspray in
These
this.
paintings show us in an unfavorable light. We'll be removing them from the British Museum.
I like the actual dialogue there. She said, "How many people are in the painting?" He said, "I don't know." She looked at him and said, "Count them." I empathized with her in that moment.
If there had been
I mean, I don't know who to emphasize with other than the kid at this point because everybody's losing their minds here.
She punctuated it so hard there should have been a thunderclap after that. Count them.
That might have been real agitation.
Hey,
Like, I'm sick and tired
double-breasted.
of this
Nice choice. I'll have you know, I'm dignified.
Nothing untoward here. Just some
There are
normal
four to choose
conversation
from.
about being one big happy family.
See, arched eyebrow versus crazy eyes.
Is somebody looking at my eyes again?
Of course.
He's really
course.
trying to channel Peter Cushing there.
Oh, she's dying inside as he's counting.
People in the picture. I thought there might be. Why? Well, now that you and your father have arrived, there are 55.
Your father.
Oh, the artist.
Oh,
There are 55 people in the village now. You keep a census? That's not creepy.
As if the painting was some sort of prophecy.
It's gone.
Yes, assuming people could count all those years
I mean, it's
ago
a
is
small
pretty
village.
pretentious.
It's gone.
It's easy to
So
know,
he isn't dead.
I
He's
guess,
dead, all right. And I'm no doctor, but when we saw him, he was
comparatively.
dead. His body's just disappeared.
Calm, Dad. Look. Those pieces were found by Di's body.
The fifth pocket.
huh.
The meat.
I just had the
Wait,
pieces
no.
in my change pocket.
Look, what do you need? The fragments. The amulet.
I don't
I like
care
how a
for
minute ago he didn't have his shirt tucked in.
Just be careful with them, will you?
The editing on this is superior.
Do.
Not the worst editing we've seen tonight.
Huh.
And it may not be the worst editing we're yet to see.
Hey, they
No,
reused this bit
no.
on.
This has no mid 2000s MTV editing.
Quick cut. And
Mid
quick cut.
2000s or late 90s.
And
yeah.
quick cut.
Yeah.
Hey, they recently reused this bit on Strange New
Oh
Worlds a
God!
couple of
I
weeks
think
ago.
Oh,
I think the
his
man
first
just had
orgasm.
a yeah.
Yeah,
Same
it's like, what
wavelength.
the-
Missed
Ooh.
once.
Put it down.
I
Put
can
it down.
feel everything.
Think of the
Is-
children.
I'm tripping so hard right now.
Yeah.
mean,
oh God. He's
70s.
looking like he's tripping. Jesus.
You missed the LSD trips.
Yeah. Is the CIA involved in this?
Also, do you know where I can get one of those amulets asking for a friend?
Or just the rocks in general? Apparently it trips out on the rocks too.
Yeah.
People.
He says, the spirits say, "Rock me, Amadeus.
Priest.
Rock
No.
me, Amadeus.
Yo,
Lick it.
get the fuck
Rock
out.
me, Amadeus." Oh,
Power. Beam. Always.
Jesus Christ, bro.
God, just
Acting.
he's really selling it.
Acting. Right up there.
He's really selling it like an Aquafresh commercial.
Or perhaps an Aqua Velva.
Gilman?
Yeah, but you don't
As
put the
long as
Aqua
it's not-
Velva in your mouth.
Oh, you
Unless you're one of
don't?
the
Well,
writers of
shit,
the
I've been
show.
screwing this up for years.
Look.
You didn't
But
wait
it
for the
does explain
punchline.
why your breath is so fresh.
I said you don't put the Aqua Velva in your mouth unless you're one of the writers of this show.
Don't understand.
It's an
I
envelope.
use it as tonic.
Somebody visiting.
Why should give me your grocery list?
Or the priest. A visiting priest, perhaps.
Stone's power.
The worst game of charades ever.
What's it's like what's a game show here?
There's always power in the stone. That makes sense.
What is this? Classic concentration? Jesus.
The beam.
And the bright
It's the
shining
world's
circle.
most boring escape
It's
room.
not the
Yeah.
circle that's bright and shiny. It's something else.
The priest?
Something else. Ooh.
Bright, shining.
In 20 years, you'll see this same beam of light come from an alien spaceship. Run.
Towards it.
Guest.
Guest?
A guest star. That's what it used to be called in the olden days.
Oh, Jesus.
Olden days.
Supernova.
Olden
And then
days.
insert popular,
Supernova.
Hendrix
insert
Supernova.
popular fucking guest star comes
Hendrix
in now.
Hendrix Supernova. Come on.
Of course, the Hendrix Supernova.
The
What
auto
fools
title.
we've been. Man, they loved that font. They paid for it, and they were going to get their mileage out of it.
I
That
just
watch is a
imagine the
dick for.
I just kind of wondered the advertisers to put adverts in between parts 1 and 2, like watching this going, what the bloody hell did we put money into?
People better be
Oh,
watching
don't-
this. People
don't-
better be
don't-
watching this.
Don't people's television taxes pay for the BBC so they don't have ads?
This is
Well,
ITV,
yeah.
independent
This is like-
television.
Remember, yeah, that's why you have part 1 and part 2, because that had adverts, because this is ITV.
Right.
Look, we got the
Guy's watch was a dick fur.
nerd here.
Beginning, end,
That guy's watch was a dick fur.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
never-ending circle.
Somebody dropped.
Means nothing to me.
I
I
guess.
was waiting for
Whoever
the.
it was, I think they're back.
I think the guest bowed out.
That certainly seems to have.
Yeah,
That's what worries
yeah,
me.
it's fun though.
Why?
Well, I believe he really did see Lyle through those gloves. I think he saw him get into his car, drive off, and stop at the edge of the circle. And the
Huh.
proof, the next day, Lyle is happy daying us all. The question is, what happened in between?
He says he went to visit his patient 30 miles away.
And came back a different man. And don't forget his
Technical difficulties, perhaps?
So whatever it was happened here, inside the circle.
I'm sure of it.
You may be right.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid.
You also may be crazy.
Does anyone want to check with Sabrina and make sure that it wasn't technical difficulties?
Who knows?
Uh,
Where else would he go?
Oh, it's late, so I had to dip. But didn't
Ah.
remember.
Okay.
30.
Well, there it is. It was fun while it lasted.
Hey, we got it. We got a good 15 minutes off it.
Yep,
Brought it
that's
up to
right.
part 1. That's not bad.
Hey, listen,
The clay disc in the museum.
you guys really got to get with your 80s movies.
What connection is there between
I wasn't even born
trying-
yet.
Plus, this was made in the 70s.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
77, pal.
I know, but when I made that joke about the dick fur watch, it was a reference to Spies Like Us.
Formidable?
The follow-up question would have been, "What's a dick fur?" And I would have said, "To pee with." Come on, we don't have time for this.
And where is he? Gone.
Still, I feel like
Jimmy. Not
Smokey and the
exactly.
Bandit
It's just not
and Bullet
clear.
references would be more on topic.
It's something I felt from the disc.
You're gonna go away till you gray.
The only thing about Spies
the
Like
hell
Us,
is
I know
this,
is
a
that
drive-in
Paul
movie?
Marquette was that Paul McCartney did a song for it.
Like ham,
That's all I know.
mint jelly, mayonnaise.
The evidence
Fuck.
in the car, Junior.
Nothing to spoil our appetite.
Okay, I do not want to eat that sandwich.
What the hell?
What vile concoction are you making?
How did
Remember, this is the nation that invented the buttered toast sandwich and
I
the
know.
cucumber and watercress sandwich.
I know.
I'm longing to see that.
Also mushy peas.
I do not tolerate their food crime.
Now, I don't believe he ever kept that appointment. And if he didn't, then where else did he go?
Oh, I'm just eating corn chips. I can't even
Not if he wasn't expecting.
with this show.
What do you mean?
If what happened to Dr. Lyle happened in the village, then it must have happened at Hendrix.
It could have happened anywhere.
Hendrix in charge. People look
Like
up-
honestly, the 70s, The Young and the Restless would be more exciting.
Well, I'll be
The Search for Tomorrow would be more exciting than this.
Look, promise me.
I mean, they're building towards something
Anything.
eventually.
Come back here afterwards.
What, a good case of hemorrhoids?
You'll see.
See you later.
Yeah,
Nightcap
obviously
does
building up
sound
to
good right
something.
now.
Oh, why are you keeping that?
What's that?
What?
He wants a souvenir to sniff.
That?
Boy, you were
Sandra
you
Scott.
were come on.
Did she leave it behind?
I borrowed it
Borrowed. Uh-huh.
Doesn't suit you.
Sure.
To use as a camera.
Why?
A what?
Camera? What?
Clever young
What are
man.
you gonna
Old man.
Well, shut up.
That's the one thing I didn't allow.
Fuck you, 24-hour time clock.
Delightful creatures, but punctuality is not among their
Goes to an anti-time clock?
Misogyny,
We're going to beat you out in the parking lot later,
misogyny.
Mac.
What?
Do you know what it's worth?
Here are the new arrivals.
Hmm.
I'll receive them. You make sure everything's on schedule.
Andy or Sherry? The guy's randomly in tuxedo.
Trap!
And then they
And
pull
all
out
of
the
a sudden, a
pistols.
fancy dress party. At least
Well,
as
oh well.
fancy as this
They have.
show can afford.
There were others who had to come first.
Was British fashion just
Others.
literally pulling the drapes down and just using those as a dress?
Like,
I think I was just
that is one hell
But what do you need it for? You've got dear old grandfather.
electronic
Uh,
clock.
He doesn't keep such a good time.
creepy McBaldface here cannot pull off a
Given
tuxedo.
This one seems so.
Out of place, I know. It's just that I need
Frickin' huge! What is that? Where did you get that from? The frickin' HTV Studios? Goodness!
I like to make
Even though they had a frickin'
still where it should be at any given
normal
time.
clock at this point.
The stars and planets,
And supernovas?
especially supernovas.
Half expecting Jesus' face to appear in the tapestry behind him.
I felt something then. Sort of tremor.
Oh Lord!
What was it? Fear?
Bros.
Okay, now this is.
I don't know.
You know, boy, you're now getting creepy now.
It was like I felt when Bob wasn't run over by that lorry that never appeared.
How about something to eat?
Great.
A nice lolly sandwich?
Make it a sherbet butty.
Oof.
Be a lolly sandwich and make it a double.
Rather go to McDonald's instead. Jeez.
Meanwhile, we're at the sacrificial altar. Jesus.
Okay, yeah, this room is like, okay, red flag ahoy. How the hell do you walk into this room and go, no.
Everyone says
Oh,
that.
come on.
Yeah,
that's
give me a
just-
cheeseburger.
Not too extraordinary when you consider.
Give me a cheeseburger with no cheese.
That's just a perfectly normal, everyday
Fortune to live with
basement sacrificial
Yeah.
altar.
I want
Yeah. And you know it's a different room because we've gone to this kind of film versus the other kind of film.
Sandra, will you sit here?
Well, because we had to know that creepy mullet man was totally going to be the bad guy.
Also, we could definitely tell, good lord, that audio. Ugh.
Yeah. That's why we're in a soundstage right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a throne.
This soundstage borrowed from The Wolf in the
You
Fold.
have a like the fact that you didn't run out of the damn joint when you saw this room coming and opened the door.
You had them made.
And it's-
The mason
like,
carved the
you know.
Those chairs have to be really fucking uncomfortable.
I've always
Oh,
been out
yeah?
of the museum.
Not just being made out of stone, but there's this big
That
insignia
thing-
behind
yeah.
it. That is going to
Well,
be.
you know, you just
longer
don't
on
lean back.
that.
Bon appetit.
And I'm pretty sure that insignia is also on the seat.
My children.
My children,
Your
run.
children.
Run. Faster. Run. Don't drink anything. Run.
Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. All my children, I guess.
All the goblets were poisoned.
Suit you, Mr. Psycho.
Fantastic.
All quiet in the ley line front.
Real here for.
What's a tomato ketchup?
The fuck is going on now?
Feel the real tape recorder. Cutting
Tape
edge
recorder. What, is there
technology.
gonna be music on that thing?
Probably.
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
This
What?
episode is brought to you by the color green.
Can you see where they are?
Really? I would have guessed brown.
Top of the house.
Well, I'm just saying that handkerchief is the brightest thing in the episode.
Hmm.
There's a clock.
and I'm including the intelligence of the characters.
2057. Yeah, that's digital, all right.
Just waiting for Douglas Adams to go on a
Who's
rant.
there?
Uh-huh.
Check 1, check 2.
Sandra and her mother. And
They are eating a
11.
man.
Who? A butler.
Just remember, we go to 11.
eating. Just eating.
Looking around, like, what? What's going on?
Getting nervous.
Yeah,
Well?
the cookie would drive me insane too.
What's that?
The people of the corn. Wait, no, hold on.
Reverse time lapse. Reverse time lapse.
Ooh, I'm not even going anywhere.
Villagers merely.
Isn't reverse time lapse just slow motion?
Hymn of celebration.
It's also filmed on location. Meanwhile, this is on a soundstage, which is really bugging me.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed.
Into the future.
The machine went from blow to suck.
Entry into the future.
Essentially.
Ah, yes, the poison fruit.
I was thinking that.
Or so it would be if that were its only
Get a
function.
telegraph, buddy.
Did you know that there is another great dish of stone beneath the ground here?
Uh-huh.
Ray told me that.
Did he? And of course, he told us that my house stands in the center of a circle.
No,
Absolutely
but-
nothing suspicious about the fact that everybody else drank but him.
So I've noticed.
But I still don't understand the connection.
While he perversely watched them.
On the table.
Oh, you
Perhaps
don't?
It is not necessary for you to understand.
Oh, really?
It's only necessary that you should believe me when I tell you that all works towards good. Happiness and peace are the reward of the believer.
It sounds as if the circle were a temple.
Any of these actors are actually any good, it's hard to tell, but he's really selling it.
Oh, look, man, he's pulling it off.
Your altar.
Margaret, my dear.
Like, he's really selling it.
Oh, he's doing it. He's actually doing his job here.
Anger of fire, fire of speech, breath of knowledge. Render us free.
Really working those eye muscles.
Return to
Just
us the
free
innocence
harm.
that once we knew.
Okay, he's about to go on an anime film.
Complete the circle.
I've seen how this
You mean-
hentai ends.
At
Wait.
one with nature
What?
and
Well, wow. Okay. 2040.
It is time.
Uh-oh.
We need to be 40-20 though.
Dude,
That's a
man really
switch?
Why?
Why?
Dude man wants to go on Doctor Who real bad.
That's probably where this door came from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do we have a sci-fi door all of a sudden? I don't like
Just
that.
remember that
The fuck is
just
that
remember that
audio?
BBC. Just remember that that most UK television series has a soap carving budget.
Possible to
Hmm.
move.
Did we just
You can tell.
roll into Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, we did.
No, it's the column of light they've been foreshadowing all
From the
series.
jump. Yeah.
Say goodbye, Major
Oh,
Toth.
Bye, Major Tom.
What? And there you go.
Really?
Don't worry about it. See you next week.
Yes.
They call hemorrhoids asteroids.
Get out.
Out of here.
Get the fuck off my show.
Hey, listen, do not disparage the late great Benny Hill, okay?
Actually, my picture different on that.
Anyway,
Anyhow.
time for entertainment news.
Hmm.
So,
Are you
and
not entertained? All right.
okay, hopefully that's out of your system. Right.
Back to corn chips.
Anyway,
Are you challenging me to a duel? may or may not be my last Star Trek the original series reference of tonight.
I'm not taking any bets. Anyway, if we're all done with that, so we lead off with K-pop Demon Hunters due to a few things. It's like so. Unofficial number one at the box office this past weekend. Unofficial because Netflix does not release grosses of the rarefied times when one of their movies hits theaters. Because once again, Netflix does not care about movie theaters unless they're forced to care about them.
Yeah. Or that or they want to get an extra some extra dough that they'll eventually report in their financials down the road.
Or if it's an Oscar requirement.
Right. Like I said,
I mean, I don't think this was a requirement thing. I mean, nobody was expected this release anyway. This is probably a case of Netflix wanting to mine some extra coin that they don't announce on the weekend, but will probably show up in a financial statement.
Well, Netflix already did the requirement thing for K-pop back when it first released. It apparently had a weekend showing
in New York and LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the typical award season release.
Basic minimum.
Yeah. Because in terms of the Oscars and other assorted awards, this is probably going to be a strong contender in both the song categories and the best animated feature.
But Netflix is basically kind of required to do a hard FYC push now. They don't really have a choice. This is their number one movie in the history of the platform. They have to now.
It's the number one English language. But I think that's basically the number one slot overall.
Yeah, considering that it was Netflix started off as an English language service before it eventually went international. So yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, so K-pop Demon Hunters has been breaking all of the records. Also worth noting that it's suspected that the theater run here was so they could promote the sing-along version of the K-pop Demon Hunters. Anyone with kids who watch Disney Plus with any regularity know what a sing-along version is.
And yeah, Monday morning, the morning after the theatrical run ended, guess what dropped on Netflix?
The sing-along version.
Yep.
So with that in mind, the actual news this week is the least surprising. And that is Sony and Netflix are formally moving forward with a sequel. And
and
they're currently engaging in what that deal will look like.
I think that Sony's going to want a little bit more of the pie, but I think everybody's and Netflix and Sony Animation, the people in charge of those two things actually have a little bit of a close relationship, so it's just simply a case of Sony's going to probably want a bit of an extra cut, and once they figure out what that extra cut is, this is going to go off and become not just that sequel, but also possibly a much bigger franchise than that.
Yeah. That being said, the Hollywood Reporter is reporting some details that have been different than what it's been reported elsewhere. I wanted to highlight this because because they say that Sony is being paid a fee of $25 million when
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
sources are saying that the max cap per picture here is 20 million.
Mm.
Like, and also probably the most contentious part here is Sony is also receiving a piece of the soundtrack sales as well as music publishing fees for certain songs. I don't
Mhm.
think that's right.
Mhm.
Like, in fact, I think like something's going on here because Sony did not publish the soundtrack here. Like,
Mm.
like this is a part of how little faith they had in the picture. The soundtrack is put out by Universal.
Yeah,
I think
specifically Republic Records, which is a record label owned by Universal Music Group. Yes, so
maybe there's some publishing fees for certain songs, but no, they don't get a piece of the soundtrack sales.
yeah,
They didn't publish the music here.
yeah,
So, well, once again, I think they got a crossed wire there or something, but it's something that struck out to me because
yeah. Or maybe
all the other
maybe it's a side deal.
doubtful
Or
because there's a narrative that's been building about K-pop demon hunters, and I haven't
Mhm.
like about how Sony gave the farm away, and
Yeah.
how they were perhaps foolish. Though I think the Hollywood Reporter, the quote here is accurate. They didn't think this would land, and it's just bad luck,
Yeah.
which is already getting lost in the conversation because K-pop Demon Hunters, it was a new property.
I give them a hard time about it, but it is in fact difficult to predict what will sell well and what won't.
And to be clear, nobody had this on their all-time hit radar. Not even close.
Right. Well,
Like-
but of course the problem is that, the fact that K-pop is a very, very, very popular form of entertainment globally, that at least should have given them given them the thought to take the risk. Now, maybe it would have blown up in their face, but it's still a case of they did not understand the popularity of K-pop in general.
Right.
So,
Well, like, if
like-
Sony
that's
released
the
it, what would
problem
they do?
here.
Bury it on Crunchyroll?
No,
I
they
mean-
would have. No, it would have gone to theatrical.
Mm.
right.
Which is another part of the conversation around this movie, is
Mhm.
how well would K-pop Demon Hunters have actually done had it been released in theaters by Sony? And I do agree with the answer is it probably would have sunk beneath the wave.
I mean, it depends on when they released it, though. Like, if it was put out in a window, hot, deep in the Superman, MC Marvel type of window, yeah. But if it was like, this past weekend or any other weekend where there's literally nothing around, I mean, it could have and had a good, 2, 3, 4 weeks before a major outing, and hell, this year you're probably not going to get another big film out in theaters right now until Thanksgiving. So
I'm like,
it's a case of when they put it out. Like, if they put it out during a window with superheroes around, then yeah. But if they put it out in a literal dead period, who knows?
Yeah.
Would it have been as big as it is on Netflix? Probably not. But would it have been a complete and total bomb? I don't know either.
yeah. The thing is, it's all speculation because the road is traveled. The results are in. Everything else just becomes alternative speculative history.
Yeah, it's like, now you got an audience, now you got a fandom, and you're gonna have to play, and you're gonna have to feed them. And
Yeah.
it's just a matter of how to fix the equation now that the bet by Netflix was basically successful, and now Sony's gonna have to find what level of cut they want, and I don't think it's going to be a huge one. Honestly, I think they still want to, not put too much into it, but at the same time, they probably want to get in on this now, especially as this is not going to be just them going after a sequel. This is probably going to be expanding a lot more bigger than that.
Well, yeah. They're
Especially
they're probably
because go
well,
ahead.
they're not. They're probably not going to be given any part of the merchandising, or the soundtrack pie for that matter, because here's the thing, the soundtrack voices are kind of already locked in.
Yeah.
There was actually a bit of controversy around that. One of the songs had a different voice cast, and they had to go in and re-record it because it didn't sound like the other lady. So,
well, let's just say that that will not be the case going forward. And honestly, for future soundtracks and future merchandise, for future installments of this franchise, I think Sony's probably going to want to cut. Not for this one particularly, because the horses out of the barn for that.
Yeah.
For future installments, however, I think that's going to change, because I think that Sony wants to, get more.
Yeah.
Off of this now.
Probably, but it's just gonna have to be borne out. Unless the articles are wrong here, and it's already baked into the contract, because Netflix and Sony already have a overall deal, of which K-pop Demon Hunters was one of those films.
No, I think it's for this original film. I think for future installments, they probably need to cut a new deal. Honestly, it might just be a case of the current contract is just for the original movie. But if they want to do, not just a sequel, but say a side series or other ancillary projects, or
I think the other thing to keep in mind is, as been noted in another article, Netflix owns sequel rights and could, technically speaking, kick Sony off the project. But here's the thing. I don't think they can really do that, realistically speaking, because K-pop Demon Hunters is really made by the animation team that made this. It's Now, yes.
Sony
overall, using Spider-Verse style animation techniques is not exclusive to Sony. The Puss in Boots movie from DreamWorks did it, but if you put a different team on if you different team, different studio on a project, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, people are gonna notice, especially the K-pop Demon Hunters fandom that's developed.
Yeah,
the K-pop fandom is rabid enough as it is, so putting that into this fandom brings a level of hyper awareness that is going to catch things when they're seen.
Yeah. That being said, doing a sequel should be easy.
Yeah.
At least in the broad strokes. I think the bigger question is, can they bring back the Saja boys?
That's what they're called, yes. And they might not, or they might find
two of them weren't killed on screen.
Yeah.
And the one who has actual character may or may not be able to continue to exist as some kind of spirit around Rumi or something. Or they can just bring them back to life.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they probably will, because it's popular, even though it's a terrible idea narratively.
Yeah, well, 2 of their songs are in the top 10 in the Hot 100 this week. So, if there's any excuse to bring it back to life, it's that.
Because money.
Yes. Money. Yes.
Anyway, shifting from K-pop to Texas.
Oh dear.
No, King of the Hill.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, King of the Hill has done probably. I'm not sure if it's surpassed expectations, but it's done a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Because apparently it will debut number 2 on Nielsen streaming originals and overall streaming ratings charts, which
There you
is
go.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that's the best ratings King of the Hill has ever had, but like I genuinely wasn't expecting this level from, once again, King of the Hill. Like, in terms of Fox's animated series, King of the
Yeah.
Hill is always the quiet bastion of quality. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not The Simpsons. It's not Family Guy. It's not even
No, it's not.
Futurama.
Yeah, although some of the latter seasons of the original run did try to get a little crazier to try and
Right.
fit that mold, but yeah, it didn't feel right at all.
Well, King of the Hill crazy is still very, very down to earth compared to
Mm-hmm.
really a lot of live action sitcoms. Like that's always
I mean,
been
I
one
think
of
the down to earthness is kind
Yeah.
of part of the point.
like it's weird that's coming from an animated sitcom,
Mm-hmm.
let alone a sitcom at all.
Sell propane and propane related products.
Yeah. But apparently Disney the official rating is 1.28 billion minutes of viewing in the US during the August 4th to 10th reporting period.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've watched about 6 episodes so far. It's definitely more King of the Hill. It has surprisingly not lost a step and grown with the times.
Yeah.
More than
I actually watched the whole season. Yeah, it's definitely classic King of the Hill made for the modern age, and it's actually pretty amazing considering how easy it
I
could
think
go in a different direction.
Yeah,
I don't think it was meant
I had
to.
my limits. I had my limits with this series. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not tolerating the George W. Bush veneration. I don't care how much sense it makes.
It's in the context, honestly. Like, and it's also only really it's part of Hank's character. Like,
I'm aware of that. Still, it can still go piss off.
I mean, look, as long as it's in context and this isn't a fictional cartoon, then I'm not as upset about it. Like, if it was real life, then yeah.
Also set in Texas.
Yeah, and also there's a point to it, but
Well, and that kind of segues into what I was going to say was that King of the Hill is less The Simpsons and Family Guy and more of a sort of sober social commentary.
Yeah,
it has always been about like small C conservative, which doesn't get used a lot.
Right.
Like not politically or even economically, just like people who don't like to make splashes, don't like when and living in the state of Texas, which is known for doing things big, for better or worse.
Well, and this is Mike Judge that we're talking about,
right?
Yeah, this is Mike Judge that we're talking about. So it is a rather stark counterpoint to Beavis and Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And usually the entire point is that people who are considerate and thoughtful and admittedly not usually horribly attention grabbing are usually ultimately depicted as being,
Mm-hmm.
in the right and being, relatable, and they're usually the people that they want you to root for, is what it feels like.
Right.
That the way to be good is to like
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a huge King of the Hill follower, but that was the impression that I got.
Anyway, I think that'll about do it for this week.
All right. Well, and we're almost done with season 3 of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which has been a bit of a mixed bag so far,
Hmm.
to put it politely. Some really standout episodes, but other than that, let's see. So what do we got going on next week? Next week, and this entry is somewhat sparse, so you'll have to expand on it, Adam. But we have Charlene Chua, illustrator and author of The Pink Pajamas.
Right. So this, I just managed to secure her during this broadcast because there was a hole to fill. I'm like,
I see.
yeah. So, but that being said, she is an illustrator and writer on children's books, such as things that go bump in the day, when you go to Dragon School, Hug ? And her latest, The Pink Pajamas, and also does like general illustrations, and I'm guessing she does queer friendly material because while I was talking to her, she was concerned about if we were banners, i.e., people who advocate for the banning of books.
Oh no.
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 Have you even read my material? Jesus Christ.
Well,
I
she
thought-
wasn't
Yeah.
familiar. Well, she wasn't familiar with us at the time.
Yes.
She was listening to at least part of the show, like at the beginning.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff that I've said on my Twitch channel that might get me banned or canceled, but especially this past Monday's Blue Monday episode.
Yes, but we are not at all advocates of censorship or the banning of literary material at all whatsoever. Period. End of story.
I think in reference to tentacle powers on City of Heroes, I dropped the word molestation about 85 times during the broadcast. So I'm pretty sure we're anti-censorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, you might want to keep that one under your hat.
Yeah, that's probably something to keep on the hush, considering
Yeah.
what she does.
I'll take inappropriate superpowers from video games of the early aughts for 1,000, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
In the context of the episode, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
That and dog walking Shadows Mist into horrific puns.
yeah.
But
Okay.
that being said, she has agreed to be on the show next week, pending anything coming up, which is kind of the usual MO, quite honestly.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Because life can happen at any moment.
yes.
All right. Well, I'll have to shoot me some information, and I'll look their work up, so that way we can figure out what to talk about. Again, thanks again to our guest this week, Sabrina Pandora, for being a huge, awesome, great sport, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.